Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ron's Talking. Thank you for taking the time to take a look at my YouTube video. I'm back again. It's been a few days, but obviously the last few days has been pretty rough on a lot of people, especially on the Democratic side. We're all aware of that. But first, I want to take the time to ask you folks, you good folks out there, to take a moment to subscribe to my channel. I'm going to keep on bringing the news, bringing the funk, as they say, and just continue to bring the truth. That's all we can do. We've had like I said, a rough few days lately, and myself, I've gotten over the initial shock of the election. There's been so many things that have gone through my head. The first night, I'm not going to lie about it. I'll be real. And it was very hard for me to get a good night's sleep that first night. I got about 3 hours of sleep, and a million things were going through my head and my mind. Then I started thinking, man, as rough as it is for me right now, can you imagine how Kamala Harris felt? So that kind of gave me the impetus to, just put on my big boy pants that morning, pull up my britches, so to speak, and just go out there, get some work done, and start putting things behind me, because I realized that as bleak as things looked, as bad as we all felt around the country, at least the ones who supported Kamala Harris and her run for the presidency, I knew that the next day was going to come. The sun was going to come up. Good Lord was willing to allow me to wake up again and look around. I was still alive. I knew you got to keep on moving, keep on going. This is not the time to throw your hands up in the air in despair and wail and say, oh, woe is us. It's doom and gloom. It's all over. Nah, that's not the way. And I'm not going to sound patriotic and say the way Americans roll. It's not the way I roll. I consider myself more than just an American. I'm a person. I'm a human. I'm an African American. I'm a black man. And the way I feel, I'm going to get things done. And honestly, the day after wasn't well, it was different than the day before, of course, because we all felt the discouraging feelings and emotions of being a part of this historic election that didn't go our way. And so what do you do when you lose, even if it's bitter and tough? You just pick yourself up and think about, what are you going to do next? Recalibrate and get busy. I mean, this is the first day of the rest of our lives, and it was devastating at first, but we all know that tomorrow's going to be another day, and that's another day of opportunity, and we just can't throw in the towel because we didn't get this one. We'll get the next one or the next one, but we won't get nothing if we give up. So that's my little thoughts of encouragement to all of the people out there that are Democratic, that believe in democracy, believe in the fight that Kamala waged, to me, so heroically and valiantly. And I commend her. My hat's off to her. And she was definitely my choice. And I'll do it again. If she does it again, I'm going to do it again with her. Unless somebody else comes along that's better. But I saw nobody else on the horizon right now, even, that's more qualified than she. And I felt she got let down by so many people, a lot of factors involved. And I've been taking the last few days to kind of listen to all the autopsy reports from all the experts, non-experts. And that's why it took me a few days to sit down here and start doing another video, because I wanted to get all my thoughts together, and I wanted to hear what other people were saying. And it seemed like there's 20 or 30 or 40 different opinions from people about what happened, how it happened, why it happened. And that's what happens when the, I guess, the situation occurred where, somebody lost, somebody won, and the losing team, which was us this time, we have to take a look and be introspective and see what we could have done better, see what we did wrong, see what we did right, and then pinpoint the certain areas that we may have missed, the certain signs, the data that's presented to us, and also make sure that we try to recalibrate and re-engineer and just, capitalize on our mistakes, whatever they were. And a lot of people have their ideas and thoughts on it. And again, I had to look at all different sides and different opinions, and I had my own. So here I am to discuss some of these things. Okay, so here we go. Well, the Trump admin job auditions, as they call them, they begun already. Let's see, who's the first stooge that's auditioning for a job with Trump? Now, this guy's name is Mike Davis, and they consider him a standard stock Republican Federalist Society lawyer. Now, he was pretty much a centrist, trying to get people confirmed for the, Republican Party. And he played tough when he had to, but he stayed within the boundaries according to reports on this man. Now, I don't know the guy, never heard of him, but he's well, Trump has already heard about him. Trump knows about him. So as soon as Trump kicks Merrick Garland to the curb, I'm sure he's going to be looking at people like Mr. Mike Davis, because this guy, according to, again, the reports, that all of a sudden now, since Trump won, he's turned into a fucking MAGA warrior. So he's trying to get Trump's attention by threatening the New York AG, Letitia James, by saying, cute little phrases like, "To big Letitia James, I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump. Listen here, sweetheart. We're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights." Now, process that for a minute, folks. Here's this second level Rudy Poot, shade tree lawyer, and he's trying to, like I said, make a big splash and audition for Trump, like a whole bunch of people are already, because they know Trump's looking for people who's going to pull his water and carry it. So Mr. Davis is throwing his hat in the ring, because they said he has a history of pulling no punches in his support for Trump now, cracking crude jokes about, putting kids in cages and throwing political rivals in the gulag. Now, this GOP fundraiser named Caroline Wren, she told Politico that Trump loves him. Obviously, you go figure. Somebody saying things like that, incendiary things, trying to get Trump's attention, it won't take long. Those kind of people that Trump wants in his cabinet, needs in his cabinet, and got to have in his cabinet in some kind of capacity or in his administration. So, Mr. Davis, you ain't got to try too hard, bro. If you're a racist and you're an asshole and you want to threaten the Attorney General of New York like you Billy Badass, Trump and his people are going to always hear and see and notice rugrats like you. You ain't about nothing but somebody who hopefully passed the bar. But according to the things that you're saying and your attitude and demeanor, law school didn't do much for you. You went from an asshole to a legal asshole. Anyway, so this idiot, he talks a big game, and this Caroline Wren said if he is in the AG, he will play some sort of role in the administration. Of course, that's what I just said. And it's like it's interesting. It is like him who talked this big game all the time, like most blowhards we know. We'll see where his Trump ass kissing will lead him. He might have to stand in line, though, because Trump's going to have a slew of applicants in the next few days waiting on the casting couch, ready to caress those old nuts of his. So it's going to be fun watching the auditions for people who want to land a role in the circus that's coming. Speaking of clowns, Rudy Giuliani continues to stonewall the courts in turning over court-ordered items such as Joe DiMaggio's jersey, a vintage 54-year-old Mercedes that once belonged to Lauren Bacall, a diamond ring, several luxury watches, $2 million in legal fees that he claims that Trump owes him. Memo to Rudy: if Trump owes you $2, let alone $2 million, you can forget that. Trump ain't trying to pay you nothing but no attention. So you ought to know he's been stiffing counties and cities during his rallies for years. Contractors been stiff for decades. They still waiting on their cash. Hell, we still waiting on that check from Mexico for his border wall from the last time he was in office. So Rudy, you know, come on, man. You know you ain't getting $2 million from Trump. He might pay somebody else who could put some pressure on him from a legal standpoint. But you can write that one off, Rudy. Forget it. Trump don't love you that much. And the crazy thing about Rudy's situation, I'm still trying to figure out how come he keeps getting all this leeway, all this latitude. He owes the court, and they've been ordering him to turn over all these possessions and stuff because he owed Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman that $148 million lawsuit that he lost. He's been going on for years now, stonewalling. And he's still skinning and grinning, telling these reporters when they asked him how come he hasn't provided, the documents and also the items and stuff that the court's telling him to relinquish. No, not Rudy. Rudy talked about documents. I keep saying documents. I'm sorry. The items, and I think he does owe them some documents that they were trying to get as well. But anyway, anything that Rudy is supposed to turn over to this court, he just refused to do it. And when they asked him about it, he said that, well, the facility, the storage place, just keeps on jerking us around. And he said he was smiling. He playing the game, and I think I know why he's doing it. Other than he's going to defy the courts anyway, because he tries to play the same game that Trump plays, which is appeal, deny, and just keep on trying to hold out, trying to run out the clock and all that stuff. He's waiting for Trump to get inaugurated and take the oath and become president officially in a few months. That's what Rudy's waiting on, and he's waiting for Trump to go ahead and throw him a get out of jail free card, so to speak. Now, if I'm wrong, we'll find out. But watch and see what happens. Because Trump, he's going to be releasing all the prisoners as much as he can when he gets in office. And you watch, he's going to put all them criminals right back on the streets. And he's accomplished, so far, Trump has, all the things that he set out to do. And I blame, so many things to blame people on, dating way back to when Mitch McConnell and his crew in the Senate failed to convict Trump twice. We could have been rid of him a long time ago. So if anybody has forgotten about the role of Mitch McConnell and his boys played, I'm here to remind you again. Don't forget. I'll never let him off the hook. And his cronies, okay? But I also blame presently, fault me if I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, it's okay. It's what discussion's all about. To me, Merrick Garland slow rolled on all this stuff involving Trump couple years ago, leading up to the documents in Mar-a-Lago and all that kind of stuff, slow on the trigger, bringing in a special counsel a day late and a dollar short. He had a chance to nail Trump before Trump had a chance to make his move and try to announce that he's running for president. Merrick slept on it. And now here we are with the now new president-elect. Oh, man. I've always had the opinion that Merrick Garland was more suited to be a judge, because that's what he was. And even though it wasn't his fault, he got knocked out of that Supreme Court position, by, once again, old Moscow Mitch McConnell. They jammed him because he was an Obama appointee. They wouldn't give the man the time of day. Wouldn't even allow him to be interviewed. Did everything they can to stonewall him, and they did. That's how we end up getting Gorsuch, Coney Barrett, and Kavanaugh. But back to Mr. Garland. See, if Kamala Harris hadn't been tapped to be Biden's nominee for VP, I felt she would have been a perfect fit as Attorney General. With all her prosecutorial skills, she would have been great. But I wasn't mad because she had a chance to become the VP. Merrick Garland is best suited with his demeanor to do judging, not prosecuting. And you see how he's been fuddy-duddying around ever since he's been on the job as AG. And we've suffered. I ain't knocking the man for his character. His character to me is impeccable. I'm just talking about the fact that he's long in the tooth, just like Robert Mueller was when he was a special counsel. And you see what happened after he finished up his report. And of course, old AG Barr back then hijacked that. If I'm not mistaken, that was during Trump's tenure, right? Of course. So Mueller was long in the tooth too. They had to drag him basically off the couch or a rocking chair, wherever he was positioned, just to bring him out of retirement, so to speak, and run the job as special counsel. And he did a great job. The man was sharp. But when he had to sit in front of Congress after the report was done, because Jim Jordan and the crew had to go ahead and pull out them knives and grill him. And he was sitting there, scratching his head, like giving the Tennessee salute, trying to figure out what time it was, and they were hammering his ass. And he was so slow, trying to deal with the barrage of questions they were finding. They were peppering him with everything. He wasn't as sharp as he used to be because he was old. And just like Joe Biden was too old to continue being the president of the United States, and you got Merrick Garland. So we got a cavalcade of a lot of old people. Nancy Pelosi. I even throw in Andrea Mitchell on MSNBC. It's time for her to retire. Been time for her to retire. When she sat up there and faded out and was falling asleep on the air one time, and she was knocked out. Nighthall. Time to go to sleep. Rest. Chill. Take a break. Give it up. Retire. You didn't generate enough money. It's time for you to sit back and reflect on all your accomplishments and watch some younger people handle those roles. That's what's up. So again, like I said, Merrick Garland, he wasn't cut out to be an attorney general at this level and run the DOJ. smart guy. But its time is gone. Its time has passed. I'll tell you, the person that should have been appointed as AG if Kamala Harris wasn't available, it should have been the man that's currently right now the special counsel, Jack Smith. He should have been the one that was running the DOJ right now if he wanted the position. Well, I think it would have been a better move than having Merrick Garland in there. Because you see what's happening now? Because Garland drug his feet on Trump, Trump about ready to wipe out every damn thing that's involving him from a legal standpoint. That's what happens when you try to deal with a crook, a shyster, snake like Trump. You got to be on your toes. You got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to be quick to the draw. You can't be deliberating. You got to get his ass, because if you don't get him, he's going to try to get you. And now, right now, it's not like all is lost, but it ain't looking good for the home teams. I'm just saying, folks. On my observation deck, that's my thoughts on all that. Man, we done came a long way. Damn near 10 years, and we still dealing with this Dracula called Trump. And we can't get rid of his ass. And we've had all kind of chances. I don't know what it's going to take. Stake in the heart, silver bullet, garlic, wolfbane. I don't know. I just don't know. But his time is coming, folks. We just going to have to wait it out now. Maybe in the midterms we'll make things a lot differently, because you know how politics are. It's cyclical. But one thing I feel in my heart and soul from watching and observing this criminal, just think about it. We're going to have a convicted felon as president of the United States. This is how far and how low the United States of America has dropped as a country, as a democracy. Trump has bent all the rules and twisted them, and you got all these people who have capitulated to him. And you think about all those individuals, from Lindsey Graham to Ted Cruz. I mean, Mitch, after January 6th, they were lambasting Trump, blaming him for everything, and rightfully so. And where we at now? Didn't take long for a few of them to make that trip down to Mecca, down to Mar-a-Lago. All of them came back with a new attitude. And I still believe that Trump got some photos or some information on Lindsey Graham. You know, I ain't gonna divert over that subject. That's a topic for another day. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit more about this so-called election, this debacle that occurred. Man, we had so many people that's been pointing fingers at different people and different things. It's like a circular firing squad right now. And excuse my sniffles. I don't know, for some reason, nose is running. I ain't got a cold, but I might be dealing with some allergies, but I don't have a history of it. But I don't know. Could be my environment. Could be the weather changes. I don't know. I just don't like to be constantly sniffing. But folks, I got to do that unless you want to see some, some running stuff. I'm sure we don't want to see that on camera. So bear with me on this. Anyway, there's been a lot of talk about, the Democrats not running the kind of campaign they should have ran. White man that was out voting in mass for Trump. Latinos voting against their own best interests. I mean, you can look at all the things that people have been pointing at, and then second guessing. Hindsight being 2020 makes all of us geniuses after the fact. So again, that's what the autopsy report's all about from different people. But let me look at a few little data points here. Some of the stuff that I was checking out, shows like Roland Martin, Reese Waters on his YouTube show. I mean, I gather a little bit of information from all these sources, and I hope they don't mind me spreading their information and the word. Just some more people who don't watch them might be watching me, or vice versa. And then, we still get this information out, because bottom line is I want to try to get people straight on exactly what went down, and bring some data points so people can get the right information and won't be running around talking about this and that and everything else without some evidence. So, Michigan, in Detroit, there was a 47% turnout, and Kamala lost Michigan by 81,000 plus votes. Okay, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. Pennsylvania, there was a 10% drop off in voting, and in Philadelphia, checks out to be about 250,000 votes short, and she lost Pennsylvania by 130,000 votes overall. And this was during the time when the election was still in progress, but it wasn't looking good for her. In Wisconsin, she was losing by about 29,000 votes at that time. And the bottom line is, they say 15 million people sat out the election. 15 million. And there's a reason for that. And that's what needs to be looked at and researched, hopefully by what I'm understanding, a new DNC chairman. Got to tighten up the game, straight up. And also, the people running Kamala's campaign, she went to North Carolina about 18 times. And she only made one trip to eastern part of North Carolina. The rest was up in the west. Well, there was one county in the east that was 40% black that the Harris campaign didn't touch. I think the county was called Anson. 40% black, and Trump won that county. How? And somebody was sleeping at the wheel at her campaign. All these data points, they didn't happen by sheer luck or by chance. Somebody wasn't doing the job. And if it's a campaign that's missing all this info and then some, and the way she lost with all the hype and all the hoopla and all the excitement and enthusiasm that's going on with her, and she still lost to this liar, this crumb, this individual that has no respect for our laws, has nothing but a history of breaking the law, simply lied on a group of people, happen to be black for some reason, these Haitians, him and his running mate, and they didn't give a damn, and still don't give a damn. This man fumbled and bumbled in the last few weeks of his campaign and looked like a fool. Matter of fact, for the last month or two, because Kamala obliterated him during the debate. And this man was all over the place, losing it. He's the president-elect right now. How in the hell do you figure that and factor that? How did it happen, folks? It's a damn shame. It's mind-boggling. It really is. It's mind-boggling. He and his, if you call them qualifications to be president, I'm looking for his qualifications, y'all. I can't find them nowhere. He has none. Got a rap sheet, got a mugshot. The man supports neo-Nazis, white supremacists. He's down with Russia, down with our enemies, stole documents, secret documents, classified documents, tried to steal the election, tried to get another world leader to dig up dirt on his opponent. Yes, I'm rehashing all the stuff about the historic things of a criminal nature that Donald Trump has committed. And right now, he and all of his cohorts and his supporters, they toasted because they got over again. He got over again. And so, hey, like I always say, to the victor goes the spoils. But this whole thing is spoiled, and it stinks. It is amazing how people in the United States will sell themselves out, prostrate themselves for this guy. And a lot of these voters are going to come up with all kind of reasons and rationales why they voted for Trump. One of the big reasons to me will always be misogyny. When it comes to the men and the women who voted for him, a lot of them, especially white women do not want to see this black female as president. And the men damn sure didn't want to see her. Can you understand that if you think when Barack Obama was in office, 2 terms, these people that are coming out the woodworks in droves in the last few years, you think they would even consider having to deal with a black female as president of the United States? This is still America, y'all. That's why Hillary, being a white woman, she didn't make it. Going up against Donald Trump. She didn't make it. But Joe Biden did. I ain't knocking Joe. I'm just looking at the differences in the gender makeup. The women, like I said, this is still the United States of America. And you women, whether you know it or not, you still ain't got equal rights. Try to get an abortion. You have the right to remain silent. That's what you're gonna get. And the doctors ain't gonna help you because they ain't trying to go to jail. They done took your rights, locked it up, thrown away the key. Ain't happening. America's not ready for that. I remember they were talking about a couple years ago, or even last year, well, Pete Buttigieg, he's sharp. Oh man, he's got all the qualifications. He would be great. I could see him as president. I said, shit. Hell no. Come on, folks. Come on. Some of y'all people might be living in the Twilight Zone or some I don't know, a different planet or something. Y'all lost your mind. It ain't happening. He's gay. And as long as he's gay, them white folks ain't happy when it comes to choosing somebody like that. It ain't happening. You could become mayor, like he was in Gary, Indiana. You could become governor, like Jared Polis. You try to cross that threshold to the presidency, and you openly gay, they might let you even become vice president, but don't talk about that top rung. You asking for too much. Hell, they barely let Obama in the first time, but you know why? Because the Republicans had already fucked up the economy. Ask Bush, oh, I'm sorry, we can't even locate his tired ass anymore. He got radio silent over the years. He's so damn quiet you can hear a damn rat piss on cotton. He ain't talking about nothing. He quiet as a church mouse. Wouldn't even endorse anybody. He don't want to be seen because he know those MAGA people would tie his old ass up because they remember what he did with that housing crisis, that mortgage crisis, all that shit he left in Obama's lap. See, then white folks were desperate to have somebody clean up that spill on aisle number 9. And the brother stepped up and performed admirably. In my estimation, even though he's black, it's not because I'm totally biased, because he's black. The man is one of the greatest presidents ever. He ain't gonna get all that acclaim right now. May not get it ever. But the job he did, that's why they gave him another term. Because he earned it and deserved it. And then left Orange Face a robust economy that he gladly snapped up, fucked it up, but for 3 years of it, he wants to act like, well, everything was going swimmingly. I did this and I did that. I had the economy humming. You didn't do shit. Because as soon as a crisis came, we know what that crisis was, he shit in his pants. And then try to tell all of us, hey, I got the solution. Drink some bleach. And you be all right. Deborah, can we do that? Talking about Dr. Burke. That motherfucker was instrumental in killing hundreds of thousands of people on his watch. Everybody seems to forget all about that. Those families had bodies stacked on top of each other down in New York, Ground Zero, and other places around the country. That was during his watch, when he was performing so admirably as our commander-in-chief. Now, he too busy playing golf, having his little funky-ass rallies. America, y'all all who voted for this bum should be ashamed of yourselves. Well, a lot of you don't know nothing about shame, and some of you too damn ignorant to understand that this is one of the biggest mistakes since the first one you made by re-electing this asshole. And I feel we're going to pay for it. It's going to be a painful situation again, 2.0. But the way I see it also, Shit. If we getting what we deserve, the ones who voted for this bum, we're going to watch and see how it unfolds. I can just about guarantee you, just give us some time, he going to fuck it up. As sure as his name is Donald Trump, and that's his name, he going to fuck it up. Because he has a penchant for bringing in the dumbest, the most ignorant, incompetent, pick up any bum, any shyster, any fearmonger that's in his orbit, or his orbit will find some for him, and he'll stock the damn cabinet and put in all these people that are eager to please his ass. Not to serve the country, but to please and serve his ass. And y'all watch and see how this shit unfolds. I can't really wait because I know it's just a matter of time. He's going to come in there with his imperial attitude and wave his little crooked finger and put his hands up, and he's just going to antagonize and fuck with everybody from the press on down. You think his attitude and arrogance is oppressive? You ain't seen shit yet. Wait till you get through putting his hand on the damn Bible and start smoking. He gonna get his dumb ass in there and start trying to dismantle every damn thing that the Biden administration put together to help this country move along. And that's another thing I want to touch on. A lot of these people in this country have never been through a pandemic, including myself. But I have enough common sense to understand that even though gas prices are up, they're getting better now. Food prices, certain items may be getting lower. Some of them are still too high. But everything else about the economy is robust and it's been humming like a Swiss clock or a Swiss watch. Okay, we've been doing great. We're the envy of the world. The Biden-Harris administration has implemented so many things that's getting us back on track, and it takes time to recover from something this devastating, well, was that devastating as the pandemic. And we got people and companies specifically that are still price gouging. But Kamala Harris had answers and had plans versus this blithering idiot Trump, who had basically, I got concepts. I'm thinking the choice was clear then. He had no clue. And still doesn't. But he was trying to save his bacon, and he did with the help of all these idiots out there that voted for him. And some of them aren't idiots. Some of them were calculated fools and had their own vested interest, the Elon Musk of the world. Getting all these government contracts, and now he's in a position to ride on Trump's coattails, and Trump is just embracing him, and they all are doing it for their own objectives and their agendas. You know, Trump wants somebody like Elon Musk, who he thinks is a damn intellectual savant. And Elon wants that power. That's why he bought Twitter and fucked it up, but he wants that media apparatus so he can poison it and at the same time help poison America by allowing all this disinformation and misinformation to be filtered through his damn social media mechanism. So between Trump's Truth Social, God damn, he's got the nerve to have truth attached to anything he's doing. And X, like I said, we're gonna be in for a little bit of a bumpy ride, but the truth is gonna come out. The criminals will be discovered, and it's gonna be like turning on the damn light in the kitchen, and your house is infested with roaches. They're gonna scatter, and you're gonna see Trump at work again. at its finest, fucking shit up. And we're going to be the recipients of it. But it's going to come to pass because he is who he is. A royal screw up. And if you think he looked bad during his campaign, hell, he was jittery and nervous as hell. He know he got over like a fat rat in a cheese factory. But now, he got to do something that he didn't do the first time he was in office. And now he got to do it again. He got to actually do some damn work. Watch and see what happens. He's too incompetent, folks. I'm telling you, I know it like a poet. He is going to show exactly what he was the first time he was in office. It's going to be a replay over again. But anyway, let me wrap this thing up with some of these numbers from the autopsy. Here's the breakdown of the voting by gender. Among women, Kamala Harris got 45% of white women votes. Trump got 53%. Now, black women, on the other hand, showed up and showed out like they always do. They voted 91% for Kamala and only gave Trump 7% of the black women vote. Latinos, women now, these are Latino women, they threw 60% of their support behind Harris and gave 38% to Trump, which is still more than he deserved, but that was the breakdown with the women. Now let's move over to the men's side. Before I get to the men, let's go with the educational breakdown of, college educated people versus non-college. 57% college grads supported Harris, 41% supported Trump. Non-college people, 35% went for Harris, but a whopping 63% went to Trump. Go figure. There you have it. Okay, now let's talk about the white men. Age group of 18 to 29, Harris got 47%, Trump got 49%. Okay. Age group of 30 to 44 are white men. Harris got 43%, Trump got 53%. 45-year-olds to 64-year-olds, Harris garnered 38%, Trump got 60%. Okay. 65 and over, Harris got 44% and Trump got 55%. Okay. Last but not least, here's men by race. White men only gave Harris 37% of their support and their vote. Trump garnered 60%. And we all knew that white men had already announced a long time ago they were going to go for Trump. So that wasn't no mystery to me. Now, black men. Everybody was talking about early on that, Trump was gaining so much support and traction with black men and all this old BS. Well, wasn't true. Now, he might increase percentage-wise of the last time he ran or whatnot, but you can't argue with 77% of black men voted for Harris, 21% voted for Trump. And that's still, again, 21% is more than he should have gotten from black men. My opinion. I know every black man wasn't going to vote for Harris. I know this. It's not going to stop me from saying that they should have. Okay? For a myriad of reasons. But anyway. Latino men. 43% for Harris. 55% for their savior, Donald Trump. Then people in the other categories, I don't know if they were Asian Americans or other ethnic groups or whatever, Harris got 48% to Trump's 46%. Back to the Latino men. Despite Trump's declaration to deport y'all asses back to wherever y'all came from or wherever he thinks y'all came from, y'all voted for this man to make the deportation of your overall race family a reality now. You're going to allow this to happen to your people. And a lot of people sold democracy for the pound of butter price and a gallon of gasoline. I understand that gasoline prices are too high. The price of food overall is too high. But I don't think none of y'all were starving to death. And if some of the food prices were a little bit too high for you at the regular food stores like Walmart or Publix or Kroger, drop your ass in the dollar store. Go to Dollar Tree. Go to Piggly Wiggly. Or Winco. Or whatever the stores are in your area, especially the ones that ain't the big name, brand name type of stores. Shop down a little bit. You'd make it until Kamala and Joe continued to fix this problem. And then if she took over, let her put her policies in place and go after all the things that she said she's going to do. Now, I'm going to ask you folks, you think Trump's going to do the things that Kamala said she was going to accomplish? I guess we'll wait and see, right? Of course. But think about that. Your belly ached about what she wasn't showing you, what she wasn't gonna do, or what you thought she was gonna do, and all this kind of stuff. She had to always go above and beyond, of course, because of the situation she's in as a female and a black female, all those kind of things. So America basically showed that they didn't have no confidence in her, but they sure enough had confidence in this criminal, this individual that fucked us over the last time he was in office. So that obviously warranted him another shot to fuck us over again. And I just still can't wrap my head around Latinos. Like, he's done so much for y'all. And right now, you got Latino people scared to damn death because they feel what's going to happen. If they don't know what's going to happen, they worried about it's coming. But enough of belly aching about Trump. It's done. As you can see, I've gotten over it. That's why I'm shitty. But I'm also feeling emboldened. I'm feeling confident because you know what? Now it's on them. Let's see how Trump rises to the occasion, folks. All these people, blacks for Trump, and all these suburban white women who feel like, oh, okay, I guess Roe v. Wade didn't make that much of a difference to him. I don't want to hear no more shit about it from you white women, okay? Because, let me say this, not all white women, just the ones who voted for Trump. That's all I got to say. Don't hear shit out of y'all. Because y'all put his ass in office, and he's the one that urged Roe v. Wade to be abolished, and he bragged about it. And y'all still want to give him a chance to accomplish what he said he's going to do. I just don't understand the logic in people in this country. And white men, I knew why y'all went his way. Y'all don't think a woman deserves or is capable of running this country. Think about this for a second, men. All men, white or black, and especially if you voted for Trump. The United States has been in existence for damn near 300 years. We're about to have the 47th president within that era. How many of them been women? Nah, I'll wait. If this country, throughout the years, when things were fucked up, things were bad, wasn't it no men who fucked it up? And they have to clean it up? Can't blame it on women, but you still won't give a woman a chance to show what she can do because she's a woman. And some of these religious nuts and these conservative idiots, they feel like, a woman's supposed to be in a certain category and she's supposed to stay there and don't cross that line because it's our birthright and inherent right to fuck up this country. So there we are again. Don't know when it's going to change. This is probably the best shot and best chance for a woman to succeed because this lady, Kamala Harris, was eminently qualified for the job over this wreck of a candidate, this piece of trash, and didn't exhibit a damn bit of professionalism or leadership or nothing. He just was a damn bumbling ass buffoon when he was campaigning, and she still lost. And he talked about equality. It's only equal when it pertains to men. Women, y'all came a long way, of course. I hate to say it that way, but y'all know you got a long way to go. But just keep on knocking on the door. Most likely you're going to get in. I don't know if it's going to be during my lifetime, but I'm thinking it will. If I live long enough, I hope I'm there to see it. But it's all right. We'll all keep on with the struggle. We'll all keep on pushing the envelope. And we'll keep on attacking this situation because we're not going to give up on the hope. We're not going to give up on democracy. We know we've got the best structure of a democracy of any country in the world, obviously. And I'll be damned if I'm going to sit by and let somebody as decadent and despicable as Donald Trump fuck it up again. Because he will. But us Democrats, the ones who are in the game to win it, we're going to keep on keeping on because this ain't nothing but a minor setback. Because sit back and watch, folks, of what's going to go down. Because believe me, I've always said Trump is going to bring it back to us because of his sheer incompetence. And sooner or later, that hourglass of luck is going to run out of his ass. And then we're going to see what all of his acolytes and supporters. See, they grinning now. They grinning now. They happy as hell. Watch what happens when the reality sets in a few months after he takes office. Watch and see the shit show unfold. That's all I got to say, folks. Y'all have a great evening. Every day it goes by, the disappointment will disappear. We got to get back to work. And the Democratic Party got to figure out what happened, what went wrong, and tighten it up because in a lot of ways the campaign wasn't on his game. I mean, everything looked great on the outside, but there were so many different things that they could have focused on, like really getting into those areas of the country that sometimes you don't know where those areas are until they're discovered after the fact. So this is where we're at now. And I think we'll get it right with new leadership. Some of the old dogs, got to put them out there on the porch and let them sit because they done hunting. Okay. So we just need to get new blood in there that's able to communicate with the youth of the day, the new technology, and things that relate to the demographics that we're dealing with now. And a lot of these old folks, people long in the tooth, sit back, get out the way, let the new generation take over of leadership in our country. Okay? Do the country a service. Thank you for your service, but it's time to sit back and enjoy your contributions to our society and our country. Okay? So, with that being said, this is Ron Tucker. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Throw me a few likes if you like what you saw or heard. I'm coming back bigger, better, and stronger every day, every week. I ain't going nowhere until the good Lord says it's time to go. And I ain't heard nothing from him so far today, and I ain't trying to ask too many questions. So anyway, keep the spirits up. As my man back in the day said, keep hope alive. Because, hope is free. Don't cost you nothing. So stay in it. Stay with it. Democrats, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Just shake this off. And like I said, the midterms, when they come up, we'll see what happens. See how this Congress performs with this president coming up. Right. Y'all know what time it is. All right. It's Ron Tucker. As usual, as always, I'm out.